National Diabetes Month is observed every November to draw attention to diabetes and its effects on millions of Americans. Studies conducted by the Joslin Diabetes Center show about 1/3 of all people with diabetes do not know they have the disease. Joining me today is Juanita Haywood, who is a registered dietitian at the Waverly Health Center. Thank you for joining me today. So why is November recognized as Diabetes Awareness Month?
Well, as you said, it really is. It started with the American Diabetes Association, and really a call to call attention to the impact of diabetes and the number of people with diabetes, and hopefully raise an awareness for those folks who are at risk, don't even know they have it, how to be tested, what interventions they can do now to be healthy and hopefully prevent and delay the onset of diabetes.
Now there is 4 types of diabetes, is that correct?
Correct.
We have type 1 diabetes, type 2 diabetes, gestational diabetes, and prediabetes. What's the difference between all of those?
Okay, well, type 1 is the body no longer, the pancreas no longer has any insulin, and the body just doesn't run without it. It's the only way that the cells can get glucose for energy to function. So those folks need to check their blood glucose several times throughout the day, and you absolutely have to inject insulin. It's the only way to get it. But so that's type 1, and it is in both children and adults. We used to think that it was only kids that got diabetes, the type 1, but adults do also. The type 2 is that your body does still have insulin. It just might not have enough, or the pancreas is a little bit slow at kicking it out when it needs to, so there's medications for that. The other thing is the cells may just not be receptive to the insulin when it wants to put the glucose in there. So changing lifestyle, working with eating habits, and medications are the way to go with that. Gestational is only impacts pregnant women, and it's the same thing, that the cells are just not quite receptive. They do have insulin, the cells just aren't as receptive, but it's very important that they control their blood glucose because it can really impact the health of the baby. Those with gestational diabetes, oftentimes they actually are at risk for developing diabetes later in life, but upon delivery, kind of goes away and they think everything's okay. And what I want to point out that the type 1 and type 2, the numbers right now are 30 million Americans have either type 1 or type 2. And with the prediabetes, it's that the body, it's a condition where the blood glucose is higher than normal, but not high enough to be diagnosed as diabetes. And there's 86 million people with prediabetes. Some of them know it. They used to think of it. People say, well, I have borderline diabetes. And there really isn't such a thing. You either have it or don't. But there is, if you're diagnosed to have prediabetes, there is so much that can be done to prevent the onset and delay the onset.
Okay, and what happens if you go undiagnosed?
What is the impact if you go undiagnosed? Well, there can be, one of the things that happens is there's actually, because the glucose it gets sticky along and even in the very fine arteries and the nerve things. So people can start to have vision changes, their kidneys can be damaged, and then the nerve damage can even impact the extremities, like the hand and the feet. People will have tingling and burning, and then it's called neuropathy, where they have decreased sensation. So those kind of things can start to be happening before you actually get a diagnosis of diabetes. So that's why need to pay attention and find out early.
Okay, and real quick, you do have an event coming up at the health center, right?
We do. We have a diabetes forum coming up next Tuesday. That'd be the 10th, and it is in Tendrils Rooftop Garden, and it starts at 6 o'clock, but actually there's some displays for the vendors. There's light refreshments for that, and then we have Dr. Kerry Rhodes, who is a cardiologist with our facility now, and he's giving a presentation on the impact of diabetes on heart disease, because the other thing that people with diabetes are at twice the risk of having a heart attack or death from heart disease as a result of the diabetes. So he's going to talk, and he's pretty lively. And then after that, Sheila Rosengarten, who is our massage therapist, is putting calm in your day. She's going to talk about ways to reduce stress, because people are stressed. Diabetes it takes its toll, because you always have to pay attention to that.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining me this morning. We'll be right back.